Hey guys, it's Mike with the King Arthur Legends Rise video. This is the first of a 7-day series that we're going to do on a free-to-play brand new account, going over a free-to-play experience as well as a new player experience with all the new stuff in the game. And now that I have actually played the game for 6 months, I feel like I probably have a better chance of starting my account out in a positive way. So we're going to go ahead and get on this, and for the next 7 days we're just going to see how much progress we can make and also evaluate how the experience is for a new player, to kind of keeping in mind the idea of player retention, which I think is something that King Arthur has struggled with a little bit lately. If you've been watching my channel, you know I'm actually on vacation right now, so this series is going to run during the duration of my vacation, so that when I get back I can jump back on and kind of talk about more relevant events. So if you see anything in this was like, oh, that was like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, that's when I started this account, but I was just filming these videos in the background and decided to launch them while I was gone to Alaska. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and let's get into it. So I do recall the dialogue. It's kind of nice that they do the dialogue overlay where they actually read it out to you, but they read it at such a slow pace it's almost distracting. Alright, so we picked up our K already. We got our Rise summons, so we're going to go ahead and pull these, get these on the account. And we're going to pick up our Morgan, which is our very first legendary character, and she is amazing. So we'll be probably spending a lot of time building her up and getting her ready to rock and roll. In this temple, we also got a Cormac, we got a copy of Arthur for some chivalry, and then we also got a Kalik, not too bad. I'm not sure the randomness of the rest of these, but I know that you are guaranteed to get, I believe, that Morgan on that temple. So that's pretty good in that space. Gets us off to a pretty strong start. When I went through the first time, I didn't notice, but as you're going through, you actually talk to Merlin, and he's the old Merlin that you kind of expect from all the stories and so forth. And then when you get Merlin on your account, he's a young, kind of strapping young lad. So I feel like this Merlin could be kind of a cool addition to the game, seeing how he's kind of in here already. I actually forgot the first time through campaign mode, it is actually laid out like a story. I thought that was just adventure mode, which is kind of fun. So we're going to get into these battles and start working ourselves through chapter 2. So right away, I'm going to move into this team here where I'm actually going to start putting experience to the people that matter. I'm pretty confident when I first played, I didn't even pull Morgan right away. I didn't have a Cormac, and so I was probably pretty slow to put K on the team. I was using Monk and Hector for probably way too long. So this would be a great way to start getting experience on these folks and building them out. I'm gonna zip in here, set up my auto battle here. We do have Cormac's Storm Relic, so on his A3 he actually hits 5 times for quite a bit of damage, so that is great for single target. But we're going to stick to his A2 where he's doing AoE damage. And then also on K, we're going to do the same thing with the AoE damage. And then utilizing Arthur here for our single target. Going with the A2 just because we don't have everybody in a vigor set. And we do get the stun effect there. And then obviously Morgan A2 is the way to go. So we're going to go ahead and get that going and get it on auto right away. And away we go. Alright, so we're about a half hour, 45 minutes in the game. I did get my first 10 pack of special summons. So we're going to go ahead and give that a shot. We have the wish list now, which is awesome. Throw Caliber and Arthur on that. Nika, Morgan, try to get her maxed out quickly. And I think we're going to go for Brennan in that 4th spot. I think with my goal here is to get most of the champions on my account. So after I get to chivalry level 3, 4, you know, depending on the champion, I'll probably move them right out of there and start going for Lancelot, Merlin, get Guinevere going for Cromcroc when we get there, and kind of go that direction. But for now, I think those are the 4 we're going to go with. And we're going to go ahead and pull the 10 pack and hope we get lucky right out of the gate. And the game has froze. All right, here we go. We got a rare coming in here. So great to see a Rosier, a K, got 2 rares actually. That's pretty good. But Born we already have on the account. We got another Frederick and we got an Arduin, so she has that polymorph ability. I've never actually built my Arduin on my main account, but she is the first healer I've pulled outside of Frederick, so she could do some work for us in that space where she's doing some crowd control plus healing. But we're probably going to sit tight until we start dying. If we haven't gotten a Turret or a Nika by then we'll probably maybe look into building her up. Alright, so we're coming up on the hour and a half to maybe 2 hours. I think it hasn't been quite 2 hours yet, but we started right after reset, so we've been kind of pressing the account along. I've got advancement on K and Morgan to 4-star, working towards 40, and then I'm working to farm Pinbit here so I can get Arthur and Cormac Cormac up to 4-star as soon as they're available. So far, haven't really run into any hiccups. This might feel a little bit redundant if you watch my channel all the time, because I do want this to kind of be a beginner's guide series to King Arthur. So I might cover some things that are probably pretty basic for a lot of you, but for the folks starting out, it can be extremely helpful starting your account. So I would focus on Kay as your damage dealer. Get her in as much attack as you can, and then obviously where you can make her tanky, but crit rate, crit damage, and attack is really going to be a huge benefit for Kay starting out. And then I would put all of your other resources into pretty much going straight to Morgan. The idea behind Morgan is just getting her fast and getting her effect accuracy as high as possible. So right now I'm farming easily Plane of the Beast 3, probably could move into Plane of the Beast 4, but haven't really got there yet. I have been leveling up and getting a lot of stamina, so I've been able to play non-stop. This reminds me of when you start Raid for the first time and you kind of go through and you just have stamina and you can play for as long as you want. I know the first time I started King Arthur, that was not the case. I felt like you kind of got bottomed out because every time you leveled up, it would just cap you out at the total. So if you had more than that, it would drop you down to that number, but it definitely wasn't accruing, which I think was extremely frustrating. But I think it was probably about a month ago they changed that, so now it's accruing, and now you can actually farm in areas that you need a couple things, which I think is super effective. And so I think it changed the way that starting the game really works out. But if we jump over into my account and see what we got going on, we got MikeGoG free to play right up there, and jump in here. So we've got Morgan on 4-star 32, we've got Kay at 32 as well, and we're gonna get Cormac and Arthur. So far these are the only 4 characters I have used. I am hoping to get a Nika or a Turin, but I will start to build my Arduin if I need to, because of this A3 heals all allies by 116% of her attack. The other thing that's kind of fun with her is she does have this polymorph ability, which can also work as crowd control. So she is a very effective crowd control person, but also a pretty good healer as well. Plus you're building her with attack to maximize those heals. But I do think they come in a little bit softer. Acero would be a better place to start. Turin would be a better place to start. Obviously Nika or the new champion Lagertha, but getting raid up summons on a new account could be pretty tough. But by the time it comes around, might be the way to go. I would put some energy into Tristan for the pen bid, trying to get in there to farm a little higher. He's got a 3-hitter on his A3, plus he has a speed aura that works in there, and he's in most endgame teams for pen bid, so him and Kay are going to be a great start to putting that team together, and Morgan. So those 3 are probably going to be fantastic, plus a healer, and we're going to be able to go clear to stage 10 with those 3 and a healer. It's just a matter of getting the right gear on the account and so forth. Anywhere you can pick up gear, you want to do your best to pick it up. I've got a couple pieces that are 3-star just from random things, but ultimately on my Morgan, I'm just looking for anything with attack speed. I'm at a whopping speed of 100 right now, so doing pretty good. So we'll see about stepping that up. Eventually, obviously, we need to get her into a vigor set as well as everybody else, so we'll be working towards that. But on my K here, I've got a couple 2-star, getting her in an attack set, so she's doing a little more damage. Life and or defense set would probably make sense, but I don't have. Probably go into that piece, but that's all right. So when you're into 2-star, probably don't want to put a lot of energy into gear, because until you get to 3-star, it's really not, like, you can see the stats that you get on here are not super effective. They're gonna be helpful, but they're not gonna change your game. The nice thing is you'll only rank these up to level 6, so you're not wasting a bunch of gold on it, but getting gold through Gorgos is a struggle, especially when you don't have anybody in the category of damage over time or dot damage. So Cormac builds his power from defense as well as attack, so building him defensively, you're going to get as much attack out of it, plus you get the durability. So bringing him in a lot of defense is going to make him really effective for you. You are looking to get his Frost Relic when it becomes available. His A3 smacks pretty hard. It's AoE ability. But right now with the Storm Relic, I got him going. And then moving over to Arthur, we got a 3-star piece of speed gear here, but nothing to actually flesh out a set on any of the pieces. But we did get get in some of the events a couple pieces of gear. So I figured we start getting them on the account and doing pretty well. When you start as a new player, they have a new player event that kind of rolls through and gets you a lot of goodies as you kind of go through it. It looks like it's actually going to get us a copy of K when we clear normal 5-7. So that's going to be, it's actually an entire chivalry of her. So that's going to be pretty big. Depending on when you're starting, there might be events going on that you can partake in. Right now, we've got raid bounty going on with the Penvid. So that's where I'm farming. So I got extra 100 stamina sitting in there waiting to go. I'll probably be spending some more time in Penvid just trying to get as many players up to higher star ratings as I can. As you see, I've advanced pretty quickly through tier 7, got some extra goodies. We might have a 10 pull now on the special summons there, so let's jump in there and see if we got that going on. Over here, Lake Avalon, special summons, we got exactly a 10 pull, 50 away from pity, but hopefully we don't have to go all the way there, but we'll see. This is the second 10 pull on the account, short of the 10 they give you. Somehow it froze, so that's pretty exciting. Hopefully it comes back. I don't know. Did we break the game? We might have broke the game. Got 10 legendaries. That's what happened, and now the game is frozen. Oh, here we go. All right, we got a rare. We got a rare. It just took a second there. We got 4 rares. That is awesome on a fresh account. A Jarrett is a great start to getting your Gorgos team going. As you start getting further into Gorgos, those burns over time, the damage is going to be really tough to get through, and Jarrett's going to be able to strip all that off for you. But let's take a peek and see. We got an Isolde, is a good healer as well. Copy of K. We got our Rosier for some dot damage, so we can actually start putting together a good Gorgos team. Ideally on those champions, Jarrett, you'd like to get him in his Frost Relic just so he's positive affinity for Gorgos. And then as far as Rosier, we need to get her in her Flame Relic, but we'll be keeping an eye out, see if we can pick that up. The nice thing with this game is as you advance, you start to really pile these energies up, so leaving people behind isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you're focused on the core 4 that you're rolling with, you can do a lot of work here. If you weren't fortunate enough to pick up Cormac, I think he's the only random person on my team. You could definitely bring in Tristan here. You get him pretty early on, or if you pull in somebody else, like at this point it might make sense to pull Arthur out and start using Tristan. He's probably going to do more work for me, although Arthur on the A2 right now does have that stun ability, so I'm trying to get him a little bit of effect accuracy so that can land, but it kind of helps me with a little bit of crowd control while everybody else is doing the damage. So we got a ways to go before we can advance Morgan or K to 5-star with the resources we need there, but we are really close. We can advance either Cormac or Arthur, but not both. So I'm going to go ahead and farm these in Penvid, and I'm going to farm these in campaign to make sure I can get both of these guys up to 4-star, and then we're going to press on in campaign mode. So now that I got those on the account, we're going to go ahead, we leveled him up to level 30, we're going to advance him forward. And in this space here, I actually like to leave them below level 40. I'm not going to use my resources because as you're farming campaign, you're getting experience for the fights that you're in. So if you take him clear to level 40, the entire time until you advance him, he's stuck there. He's not gaining any experience. So we're going to do the same thing here for Arthur. First, we got to max him out, take him to level 30, and then we're going to go and advance him to 4-star, and that way he can start accruing that experience again. And you can see the stat increases as you move up in star power. Like it starts to stack up pretty good, and it makes a pretty big difference early on. So now we're at 4 players, probably within 2 hours of starting the game. 4 players that are 4-star ready to go, and we have 2 legendaries on the account, which will be the same 2 legendaries everybody has. Fortunately for me, I'm on the luck side. I've gotten a Cormac and a Rosier. I want to check and see chivalries. I actually already have a chivalry for 4K, so let's go ahead and pick that up. So this isn't going to do a lot for me right now because it's going to charge the stag favorite allies attack gauge by 20%, and she's the only stag that I'm running on my team. That being said, when I do get Tristan going, that will benefit Tristan for that Penvid team. So that's actually not going to be too bad to get that on the account right away. As far as other chivalries, we got Arthur's chivalry, changes crit rate, increase 2, granted by commanding shot to crit rate 3. So it's just going to get him more crit rate. So that's going to be a pretty good win there. And then it looks like that's about what we got for chivalries right now. So, hey, we are already moving on to some chivalries on the account, which is pretty fun. We've almost got 1,500 rubies, which will probably go immediately to a 10 pull, just to see if we can get to pity and start getting some other legendaries on the account. Every day, they're going to be a 20 ruby gift in here in the daily packages. So you want to scoop that up, and then every week it refreshes. You get a summon plus 100 rubies or crystals as well. So that's one thing just to keep in mind. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was in this area here, you have a new player where you're going to get some good amount of summons and stamina for the first 7 days, leaving you with a legendary character. First month check-in, you're going to get some 6-star gear. That's going to be huge on the account. So I mean, it kind of gets you on these. I think these are going on for everybody. And then you have your check-in dailies as well. But there's a lot of goodies every day starting out that are really going to get you on a jump start on your account. If you're looking to figure out how to get around, I was having a tough time finding stuff. Restricted area is where you're going to find the power-up dungeons where Pinvid and Burning Gorgos and those guys are. That's also where you're going to find the other like equipment dungeons and things of that nature. This kind of goes through. You haven't unlocked a whole lot yet, but it's all here in restricted area. And then here in story modes where you're going to find campaign and adventure once we actually unlock it at 5.7, which we're getting pretty close to that. The clans right here, and then your item bag is this little bag right up here. It looks like we got another piece of defensive gear, so we'll put that on there, 2-star on the account. That could actually work out for arcade because we were looking to complete that defense set, and then got some of these guys on the account as well. You do want to wait until you get a 10 pack of all of these guys here, because then you're guaranteed a rare character when you do a 10 pull on these, versus not. So if you just pull these individually, you could pull 12, 15 one by one and never get a rare, whereas you're guaranteed to get a rare if you do a 10 pack. Seeing how we got you, we're going to go ahead and pull these guys. Let's jump over into Lake Avalon and see if we can get lucky, get a rare on the account with a 10 pack here. These ones do not guarantee you a rare with a 10 pack, but it's just easier to pull. And as you get later on in the game, man, it is struggling right now with this Frozen. I'm not sure what's going on. We did just come on the backside of an update. We got a rare. That's awesome. So you see that blue light up, you know you're getting a rare. That's our character right there. Let's see who it is. We got a couple new folks and another Arthur. So that's halfway to our next chivalry for Arthur, which is pretty cool. Jump over to Kay's gear. The piece I was hoping for were earrings, and we got a pendant. So we don't have a defense earring on the set. It could make sense to move those off of Cormac, put something different on him. To be fair, at this stage in the game, that extra defense, you get 20%, is going to be pretty big. So I think we are going to actually do that, even though that is a pretty good piece for Cormac. But then we'll come back over to Cormac. He has defense there. Let's see if we have anything to put. Oh, we don't. So we'll go ahead and throw him in that life set. At this stage of the game, chasing red dots isn't a bad idea. Like, you got a red dot up here. Go see what's going on in there. There's a lot of goodies you're going to collect along the way that are going to help you press your account along. And when you get to a spot you're frozen, you can jump into another spot and just kind of see where you can press on. So I was kind of getting to a point where campaign was a little bit, like, kind of getting a little tighter. And so I thought, well, I'll go into Pinvid and I'll go and see where I can go in Gorgos, and I kind of got those pressed on. But now that I got those upgrades going, I'm going to go back into story mode and see if we can go through 5.7. All right, so our team took us right through stage 5.7. I was a little nervous because it's kind of a long fight getting through there without a healer. But we made it, and I think everybody survived. So it was actually I was pretty impressed by it. Didn't even have to max people out and take them to level 40. And at 5.7, we kind of opened up the game a little bit. We opened up adventure mode. We've opened up the Coliseum, so you can spend some time in here fighting some of these guys. The team I have is not exactly great for arena, but at this stage in the game, there should be matchups that work out for you. I think at this point, I am going to build up my Tristan and try to get that Pinvid team going, because right now I'm at a standstill without being able to get these gold orbs. I actually got these 5 from a chest or an event or something like that, so I'm not able to actually farm these yet. So I think if I can get that Pinvid team going where I can get some of these gold chests, it'll allow me to get up to 5 stars once I get these guys maxed out. So I'm going to take Tristan here. We're going to max him out there straight to level 10, which is going to be a big win. I don't have any gear on him either, so we're going to see what we can put on him as well. Hopefully get some stuff. Ideally, we'd like to get to the point where we're opening up the forge. the forge itself is going to allow us at some point put together those vigor sets that are really necessary so that people can use their abilities. I'm out of gold here, so we're actually going to try about doing that Gorgos team as well. Can't really build my dot team yet just because I'm out of gold, but we're going to see where we can farm and get some work done. So we went through Burning Land 3. We're going to go ahead and try Burning Land 4, just see if we have a chance there. And if not, then we'll go back to Burning Land 3 and finish that out. So we got Tristan dialed in, took him up to level 35. He's leveled up since then. This team's actually pretty functional in this space. If we go take a look at their skills, we're running Tristan's A3 and A2. Kay, we're just running her A1, not really in there for damage, but that's a 5-hitter, so it brings the shield down. Cormac with the Storm Relic has a 5-hitter on the A3. So we're going to do those guys, and it can hit pretty hard. But if you look at the damage that Tristan is doing out of the gate right here, it's actually pretty impressive. So we take a peek at the damage overall. Tristan just did 1,200 damage. Cormac's doing 180. He was doing his A1 in that space. We got Kay coming in with her A1 doing just about 400, 900 from our Morgan, and 700 from Cormac there. And then we're back up to 750. I think that was the A1 for Tristan there. So it's kind of one of those things where just bringing him in this space, he is a great single target damage dealer that's going to do a lot of work for you. That was his A1 actually right there. But when he does get, I think maybe when the defense down is up, like he's the one smacking for over 1,000. But we do get the shield up a couple times. We got to break it down. And we do not have a healer on this team, so the more times that happens, the more likely it is that Pinvid beats us. So far this team has run 100%. I think this is Pinvid 5. So we are able to get the gold orbs here, I believe, while farming. So that'll help us get to 5-star. And then eventually we want to get to Pinvid level 7 as fast as possible, because that's where you get the red orbs, and that's how you get a 6-star character. So you got 2 of those guys there, and the rest of those are stacking up pretty good. So we finish out day 1 of our new player event. Got 20 summons plus a chivalry for K, which is huge. And we actually have 14 days of these. So every day upon reset, I'm assuming we're going to get a new process. So we have a 14-day onboarding process that is so far very generous. So let's jump over into Lake Avalon, see if we might actually be getting to a point where we're about to hit pity. 40, we got 24, and we can make it. Yeah, we can pull 30 for sure. So let's go ahead and pull 30 and see if we get lucky here. You could go in here. I was thinking about the wish list and like putting somebody like Anya. Look at us get lucky. That's so awesome. Let's see who we get. We got 2 rares also, which is going to be huge. Guide the Spirits. We got ourselves a Nika. That is so big. So big. So now we have a Nika on the account. We have a healer, so we're going to get her straight to level 50 as fast as we can. And let's see who those rares are as well. We got a Boars and a Gareth there. Let's go ahead. We're going to pull again. Back-to-back legendaries. This is crazy luck. Oh man, that's awesome. Let's see who we get. I'm hoping for a Calvin and Arthur. That would really switch things up a bit. Let's see. I do. Wow, all right, so we got ourselves a Brennan right there. That is huge. That's going to make us a lot more durable with the shields and everything that he brings to the table. Got another K right there, which is awesome. So that's going to be halfway to our Chivalry level 3, which is pretty good. So let's go ahead. I think we're going to go ahead and keep the momentum going here. See if we can get back to back to back. It's probably a little too much to ask. But we are using crystals right now to complete this 10-pack, and we got 2 rares. Let's see, another Frederick. We're stacking up some Fredericks there, and another Cormac there, so that's pretty good. So let's go ahead, jump over into our heroes here and see what we should be doing now. So the Brennan pull is going to be huge for Aldry. That's going to get us through the Ice Bear, probably pretty deep into there. We need a healer because I don't have a single healer on the account. So I think for the time being, until we open up Aldry, I'm going to leave Brennan where he's at, but I'm going to go into Nika here, and we're going to get her powered up. So starting out, just maxing out as far as we can go until we start to run into resistance. Then we'll go farm what we need. So far we're looking pretty good. We're going to take her clear to level 20, and we're going to get up to 3-star. And it looks like we're going to need something to get up to 4-star. So we'll take her clear to level 30. And as we go to advance, we need these guys. So if you get to a point where you need something in the game, if you click on it, it'll tell you source info, and you can go find where you get that piece. Here you have inventory if it's in your item bag, but this is one of the selectors. I can get a maximum of 3, so that's not going to be enough. I'm going to go into main story mode right here, and I'm going to click on 6-6. I just beat it, and we're going to farm that a few times here because I have plenty of stamina. So as we're farming this, I did want to say, like on the campaign mode, I'm not really a fan of running around the map and doing stuff. I understand in adventure mode that makes a lot of sense, but for the campaign mode, it just feels clunky and it feels slow. If I'm trying to go through and actually do some farming and use the all of the stamina that I have, it just feels like an unnecessary burden where you're talking to people and you're doing this and you're doing that. That being said, I didn't take the time to listen to the story. I actually would like to go back at some point when I have more time and listen to the story and take my time with it, because there's probably a lot of work that went into that that makes it, you know, less enjoyable when you're just blazing through it as fast as possible. But I do feel like that is a great place for adventure mode. I feel like on the campaign side of things, it should be a lot faster. And when you go into skip story, it should just take you to the next battle. So if you don't, you know, because a lot of these have multiple steps to them, and you hit skip story 4 or 5 times before you get to the battle, then you're running on the map, and it takes like 20 or 30 seconds between every place that you run, and you're like, all I want to do is fight. So I kind of feel like it's a little clunky, and I would prefer it to be different and save all the map running for the adventure mode. I feel like it'd be a better experience, especially for a beginning player, because they don't probably know that later on you just go into campaign and you farm whatever you want. You don't have to go run around on a map, but you have to go beat it initially the first time before you can do that. So it could kind of turn people away as to what type of game this is. That being said, I'm still blazing through. I've been probably at it for about 4 hours now. And in the first day, we have never run out of stamina so far. I've been able to progress my account in a lot of different ways. I'm already farming Penvid stage 6. I think Gorgos I'm on stage 3, but I haven't had a chance to really build a Gorgos team yet. I got through Yscalag stage 2 so far. Really a Sarah would be a great win in there, but ultimately that Nika is going to at least give me an opportunity to keep my team alive, which is going to be huge. For some of those longer battles, not having a healer has been pretty detrimental to me. So this is going to be a big win, getting Nika on the account. All right, so we got Nika leveled up, got her in total life set. Ideally, we'd have her in vigor set, but I don't have a complete set of vigor. I have 1 piece so far. We got her in life set. She's getting an extra 15% HP for every one of those. So that's 45 extra percent. Plus we got a little bit of HP. That was just dumb luck that we got that there. We did get her in an HP ring. Ideally, we'd be looking at HP percentages here, but we are at slim pickings. We're on day 1. So right now we got her overall HP up to 10,000. Her speed's at 106. It's kind of almost laughable. 0 recovery. So I don't have any keepsakes or anything like that. They're not even opened up yet. So I got a lot of opportunities there. But these heals are going to come in here and probably be pretty good for me. So I'm looking forward to bring her on the team. So we're going to give her a shot right here in Penvid. We're going to go ahead and take Cormac out because he's my least effective character in this space. We're going to try. We do have the 20% HP lead. That gives everybody more percentage, but the speed lead on Tristan might be helpful because we do have the turn meter manipulation going on with Morgan. But if we end up dying, we might turn that around and bring Nika into that lead position and see if we can get it done. But ideally, if we can get through Penvid stage 7, that's where we start to farm the red orbs that we need to get all of our champions to 6 stars, which is a great place to be, especially after the first day. So I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at so far. I was also thinking about the wish list. It might make sense at this point because getting Nika to chivalry level 8 is a great idea, but I don't know if it's a great idea at the expense of getting Lancelot and Merlin and Vivian and some of these other characters that are really going to be beneficial to our other teams. So I think I am going to probably pull Nika off of the wish list for now until I get a copy of some of the crucial players I need to get a little further along in Gorgos and some of the other places that we should be farming. I think that might be a good tactic. But it is kind of interesting, and the same thing with Brennan too. Now we got a copy of Brennan. He puts up a shield right out of the gate. I'm pretty sure with 0 chivalries. That's going to make you significantly more tanky right out of the gate. So I mean, that's going to be super helpful for Arena and a bunch of other places too, and obviously Aldry when we get the Frostbear opened up. But so far, I think we're going to be just fine with Nika. The heals aren't as big as I was hoping, but he's not doing a ton of damage either. So when she comes in, we're actually not getting all the heals that we want. So I'd probably come in here. We already have her on her A1. We don't want her to run her A2. I think we got to leave it like this, but we really just need to get some vigor sets going on. But potentially, if I can't stay alive, you could drop Tristan down to his A1, and that way Nika is going to hit those heals a little more frequently. But I think based on the damage we're actually doing, we probably are going to get through this no problem. We took the big hit. We're still alive. Everybody's happy. She also does a heal on her A1. It's only a single target, though. But we are going to get through it without a problem, and that gets us into a place where we are farming the mythic orbs, which starts to get us to where we need to be in getting champions to 6-star. So we're going to jump into Gorgos with the same team. We are going to move Nika into the lead there just because Tristan's speed is for Pinvid specifically. This is not a good team for Gorgos, but I think we're only on Gorgos. This is Burning Land 4. So hopefully we can press on to 4, maybe 5 in this space. Get a couple of these little watermelons would be awesome, just because we have the healer. I did already pull a Jarrett, so that could be a good place to spend a little bit of time trying to start to flesh out this team, as well as a Rosier. So those two pieces alongside Nika and then a Lancelot lead is going to get you all the way through Gorgos 10. Ideally at some point you could swap Nika out for a Vivian, and that would work out, but right now we're seeing a lot of that damage over time burns on all of our characters. So I think we might make it. We are doing enough damage. I think we're going to get through it, but I don't think we're going to have a chance at Gorgos 5. But that is the difference when you get a good healer on the account. Like all of a sudden those long battles where you're struggling to get through, it's like they become super easy because you're getting some of your HP back every time. So this actually unlocks when we get through hard mode, difficulty 2-7. So we got to go all the way through normal mode before we get to Aldry. I guess that makes sense because you're upgrading relics at that point, so that's all right. All right, so we made some adjustments here. We actually went in and got a attack speed ring for Morgan here. Now her speed is a whopping 112. So that is going to be pretty good there, but we're working on getting that done. We did also take Jarrett to 5-star and got him in full defense gear, except I did not have boots that were defense. Just trying to build him as tanky as possible. With HP and defense, he should be able to stay alive. Ultimately, what we're looking for right here is the second passive skill. When he has 2 or more effect accuracy increases, he's going to remove all dots from all allies. Does some other stuff too, but that is specifically what we're looking for. And also on this skill, he needs to have 2 or more effect accuracy increases. When he's inflicted with a dot, he gets 1 of those automatically for the rest of the battle. And then we need to get 1 more additional one on him. So his A2 can also be useful here, where it removes 1 dot from all allies. So in the event he doesn't have 2 of those, this can work. But if you have that going on, you actually can just spam his A1. It'll be just fine. But for the time being, seeing how we've got a lot of ways to go as far as upgrades, we're going to go between his A1 and his A2, and we're going to jump into Gorgos and see if that takes us on further than we are right now. So coming on into the Burning Land, we're going to put him, we're on to Burning Land 6. Of the 2 of these champions, Tristan actually does a little more damage, so we're actually going to take out Kay and bring in Jarrett there, and we're going to give this a shot and see if we can get through it. I am starting to actually bring my stamina down for the first time since I started playing, which has been probably pushing almost 5 hours now. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. What we're going to notice is Jarrett is going to keep those burns off of our team. Nika's heals aren't huge, but they're big enough to keep us topped off. Gorgos doesn't really do a lot of damage other than the burns. So if we can negate the burns with Jarrett there, we should be just fine. And it might be a little bit of a tickle fight just because we're not hitting very hard right now at 1800. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but as long as Nika can keep us topped off and Jarrett keeps those burns off us, eventually we're going to get there. All right, so we made it pretty far into this battle, but unfortunately not far enough. We were not doing enough damage quick enough. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to refocus, put a little bit of energy into Rosier to get some of those bleeds on him and see if we can get some dot damage instead of Tristan, and hopefully speed this battle up where we don't die. All right, so we got Rosier built here. We're trying to get as much effect accuracy on her as we could. We got 9%. That's what we got. Every one of these guys does have a substat, with I think the exception of one. So we got some effect accuracy there. And effect accuracy, 0.8% effect accuracy. I think on 2-star gear, I don't know, you can get effect accuracy as a main stack. None of the pieces I have actually have it, but we did get a roll there with 2%. This piece here has attack speed and attack, but no effect accuracy. And then here we got a one roll there for 2.3%. On the effect accuracy. So trying to land those bleeds the best we can. So on Rosier's kit, what we're really looking at is with this fresh crimson blood, it allows her to land bleeds 100% when she has this on. Obviously when you get that, it lasts longer. And then on her A3, she's got a 50% chance with the last hit to land a bleed. So we're not going to land a whole bunch of damage over time with those bleeds compared to when she's decked out, especially when she gets to her 8th chivalry. But I think that with those dots on him are going to do more damage than Tristan was doing, and with that we should see some pretty good success. It would also be much better if we had her in her flame relic here, where she would be at least neutral affinity, plus she has a bigger opportunity to land those damage over times. But we're going to give this a shot and see how she does. Take a quick peek at our skills here. We're going to be doing Nika's big heal. Jared's going there, and we're going to go between the A3 and the A1, excuse me, and then we're going to be spamming Morgan's A2. Although we're not going to be spamming it because we don't have vigor sets, but if we had vigor sets, she'd do it every time. But with that A2, we should be getting some defense downs and some other things going on there. So hopefully Rosier will start to land some bleeds on Gorgos, 1 or 2 per turn. Hopefully would be the there's one, we'll take it. We got that one there. So and then that tick comes off, and that was a pretty big tick compared to what Tristan was doing. So hopefully she can kill him a little bit faster than what we did before, and that'll give Jared enough time to stay alive, although that was a huge hit there. So hopefully Nika can start getting some heals in there, and we'll get it all topped off. But I'll bring you back in when we beat it or die. So looking at this team, to really get success out of it, we could really start working on the HP recovery and speed of Nika, getting those heals coming in. The vigor set would be crucial to get this done, just so that we're not missing any heals. It's really hard to keep your team topped off when every other time you're not actually running your A3. We did lose all of our damage there, so that's going to be a little bit tough to get through this. But we're still kind of kicking around, and I think Rosier was doing pretty good up until that slam. So I think that there is some hope in there. We might make it. We'll just kind of see if we can finish him off. I mean, at this point here, it's going to be a straight tickle fight if we can get it done. We do have a burn on him, which I think oh, Jared's down. That's the end of it. That's the end of the battle right there. All right, so I officially ran out of energy, and then I went into the event going on with Penvid, and I got a bunch more and went back into Gorgos and went after it. We do have quite a bit of stuff going on in here. Let's go ahead and set that up. We got a poll there for a rare character. That's pretty good. But I did want to bring you back in. I got 19 of these guys. We're going to go ahead and pull them and see what we get, because there's been some pretty strong rewards from that on my main account. We got a Urian, so I think he's new for the account there. I don't know if I pulled him yet. But we're going to go with these and just see how we do. So we got 200,000. We got 2 rate up summons, 750 of these. So some pretty good stuff. Nothing overly exciting there, but we're going to go ahead and get moving on some of these guys here. These are actually pretty big right now because I can't even farm these. I haven't unlocked that part of the game. So potentially I might be able to upgrade a skill or a relic. Although I think I need the weathering stones or whatever to go with it, which I don't have either. So chances are I don't have that. But it's stuff on the account to get on there, and then it's there. So it works out pretty good. So I think we're going to take this 490 stamina, and we're going to work on our first 6-star character, which we're going to be doing Morgan here. So in order to advance her, we need to get 4 of these guys, we need 4 of these, and then 17 more of the mythic orbs. So we're going to go ahead and give that a shot and see if we can get those on the account. If we go into here in the main story mode, we're going to look into the last thing we beat. And then once we get those on the account, I'll bring you back in and we'll take her to 6-star. All right, I think we leveled up again because we're sitting on 350, and I went through and farmed all the stuff we need to take Morgan to 6-star. So we've got all the goodies we need right there. We're going to go ahead and level her up to level 50. So she's ready to go. Doesn't need a lot of potions because we're halfway there, more than halfway there already. So this is going to be our first 6-star character on the account in our first day, which is pretty exciting. I think from a new player experience, you feel like you make a lot of progress. And I was able to build a lot of these characters. Like I've got, what do I got? 6 characters that are built here that are 5-star. Arthur here at 4-star. I got Brennan in the wings, who is going to be a great asset as soon as we open up Aldry, and maybe even before that if we need some extra durability. But having Nika on the team, I don't know that we really will. What we need now at this point is we need gear. We need to work on getting vigor sets on the account. For Nika, we need to get her HP and recovery stats up. For Morgan, we need to get her speed and her effect accuracy up. For Tristan, we need to get his attack up. So, I mean, there's a lot of things we need to start working on. For Rosier, we need to get her effect accuracy up. So there's a lot of things that we really need to start working on to get this done. I think I am going to jump over into Lake Avalon before I forget. I'm going to come on in here. I'm going to remove Nika. I'm going to remove Brennan. And I think I'm going to put in a Lancelot and a Merlin. Just for the crowd control option that Merlin brings. Once I get 1 copy of these champions, I'm going to kind of swap them out. With the exception of Morgan. I want to get Morgan through Chivalry level 3 or 4. I can't remember here. Let's take a peek. So I think we want to get Morgan all the way through Chivalry level 4. This is where she basically maximizes all of the attack gauge manipulation that she's going to do through Chivalries. From there, obviously 5 is a pretty big bump in speed, so maybe take her clear through 5. But she is going to be on a majority of all of my teams. So she's going to be kind of the keystone that's holding everything together in a majority of cases. So I want to make sure that I'm getting all the advantages that I can get out of her. So I think the next 6-star character we're going to do is Nika. So we're going to begin farming for what she needs. We got to get 10 of these guys. We need some of these as well as these. We're not going to be able to get all of that going on. So I think we're going to go back to campaign mode and start looking to progress through and just kind of push the account along. That'll start to accrue some of these guys on the account. And then when we run out of energy, it might be bedtime. So we finish up chapter 7 and it opened up Forbidden Dungeon as well as crafting in the Forge. So we can actually craft a couple pieces of Vigor gear, which is pretty exciting. But I did want to see about progressing in this space and see how far we can go. So we're going to roll with our standard team here and just see how far we can get in Forbidden Dungeon. There's a lot of good resources in here, so if we're able to actually get moving on it, I think that'll be a pretty big win. But we're going to go ahead and just kind of see how much challenging the content is. From there, we'll go back into campaign and press on chapter 8 and kind of go until we're at a standstill or we run out of stamina. Alright, so we got those resources on the account. We can advance Nika into 6-star here, so she will be our second 6-star character. I'm doing this mainly for this HP stat here. The higher we can get this HP stat, the better and bigger her heals are going to be, and that's going to be a big win on the account as far as keeping everybody alive. So seeing how we got these on here, might as well take her up to match up with Morgan there, all the way up to level 53. So I do still have some stamina here that I could be pressing the account along, but it's actually 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been playing non-stop for probably 5 to 6 hours. The new player experience, at least for day 1, you can play as much as you really want to. There's plenty going on. You're leveling up fast enough where you're just stacking up more and more stamina as you go. I'm on level 26 already, which is pretty cool. I have not got to a spot in story mode where I'm bottomed out, especially now that I've got Nika. But I did make it through chapter 7, so we're about ready to start chapter 8. But I'm going to get some sleep, and I'm going to get back at it tomorrow, and then we will see how the first day wraps up. Alright, so we got some sleep, we're back at it. We blazed through chapter 8 and 9. Opened up the favored dungeon so we can get in there. We also opened up the castle. And so what I do on the castle, especially early on, if you go in here to upgrade in this little scroll button, it's going to tell you what you need to do. So we need steel mill at 3, lumberyard at 3, and the forge here at 2. So then you come out here and you just grab one of those guys, head over to the box, hit upgrade. In the early levels, these take very few, like just seconds. So once that's complete, you can click on that. You can go over here and then do the same thing for the steel mill. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to blaze over into Lake Avalon. We're going to do a special summon pull. We got a 10-pack here. Start working towards our next pity. We've had some crazy luck on this account already. especially the pulls that we got between Nika and Brennan. Like, I don't know, you could really ask for better. That's pretty solid. So we got 2 rares coming in here. I was debating, you do get the chivalries on rares. There's a Cormac and a Ralph. I think that actually gets me a chivalry for Cormac. Yeah, so we jump over in here. We got 1 chivalry on Cormac. You do get these memory stones in the rares, and I think the best use of these guys is probably going to be getting Rosier to 8 as fast as possible. These guys really don't end up being that important because eventually you're going to max them all out anyway, and then you just end up with extras of these. And if you're kind of pushing through your account quickly, that's not a bad way to go. I've actually been really fortunate with Kay. I've already gotten 3 chivalries on Kay, but this would be the other choice that I'd kind of lean towards just because she's my primary damage dealer. The reason I'm going with her over Cormac is she has multi-purpose. She has a 5-hitter on her A1 for Pinvid, works out great. She has the AoE that does multiple strikes as well. So she's kind of the damage dealer slash Pinvid. And then if you build her later on with high evasion, she also functions pretty good in arena for early game. So she kind of hits a lot. She checks off a lot of boxes. So I'd rather build the folks that do the most work for me early on. But she will be my next 6-star. So we need to take a peek at that. We've got everything we need except for the orbs. We are running a little low on stamina though, so I don't think I'm going to farm that quite yet. All right, so I changed my mind. We are going to take Kay to level 6 just so that we're getting some experience on her, as well as kind of putting some energy into Pinvid. I actually got stage 8 completed, so we got 30 of those mythic orbs right out of the gate. If you are struggling to stay alive in Pinvid, it could be a good strategy if you have a healer to take out the tusks first, because those extra turns that they get do extra damage. So if you can get through those fairly quickly, then your healer can stay in front of it. That being said, if you don't have a healer, you're just trying to get through it quickly, you want to focus directly on Pinvid himself. But as time goes on, just for the speed of the run, you're going to want to focus on the boss every time for everything. But when you're kind of struggling through, sometimes those extra hits that you get from the ads are just enough to take you out. So especially when you get past halfway point, if you kill those first, typically the boss doesn't do a lot of damage in this space. And then you can kind of get in front of it. Like, we just knocked out my K in 1 hit there. That's pretty rough. I don't know that she was topped off though. It's funny, I beat it first try, and then since then this is my 3rd try. I haven't beat it once, so it's like, come on. We're going to jump over into the champions, and we're going to advance Kay, get her dialed in, and she will be our 3rd 6-star character in our first day. So progress feels pretty good as far as that goes. I mean, you really do get to move as fast as you want to. But one thing to keep in mind with King Arthur, if you are starting, you do make progress in this game very quickly. So taking your time and enjoying every process, I would recommend it. I really would. I'm a little bit eager and impatient, so it's hard for me to sit there and listen to it. But at the same point in time, if you're not in that super eager state to get to endgame, which is really funny because the process is really the fun of the game, is you enjoy the process of getting to endgame. Then you get to endgame and you complain about there's nothing to do. So, which is kind of where I'm getting now. But I'm still having a lot of fun on the main account. I actually am having more fun now on this account here. I was talking to my brother, and it's like with the wish list and being able to pick which legendaries you can get on your account is going to be absolutely huge. Having Nika as my healer right out of the gate is kind of insane. And then on top of which, just having characters like Nika and Brennan in the game are going to help with progress so much. They did also recalibrate the bosses, I think at stage 7, making them a little more achievable. I remember the first time through it being really difficult to beat stage 7, and this time I blazed right through it. I mean, it could be the heroes I got and so forth, but the tough thing with stage 7 is that's where you start to be able to get mythic orbs and stuff of that nature. And that's what you need to get to 6-star characters. But the reality is you need 6-star characters to beat it, or at least you did. And now I think with a 5-star character, a team of 5-star characters, you can kind of get through there pretty easily, especially if your team is kind of laid out correctly. But building a team composition, having a support healer, Nika, Turin, Samasera, somebody like that would be great. Then you have a damage dealer or 2, and then I would just say, and Morgan. But another support champion that's kind of doing some extra stuff for you would be pretty good. But Morgan, Getting her her effect accuracy is going to be huge because she hardly ever lands her defense down. She doesn't do a lot of turn meter at this point. Getting her in a vigor set where she can spam her A2 and getting her attack or effect accuracy up is going to be a big win as far as what she brings to the team. But I'm going to keep pressing on. We're in campaign mode, chapter 10. Starting to get a little bit sketchy here on my K, but I think we'll probably blaze right through it and see if we can go ahead and beat normal mode on day one. So we have hit our first standstill right here against the Giants, and ultimately we're just not fast enough and we don't do enough damage. He has a triple hitter charged attack that just takes my entire team out if he's able to do it, and I can't do enough damage on him quite yet. So as chapter 10 stage 2, that's going to be a little bit of a standstill right now. So we're going to go back, check out these red dots, see if we can build up our characters, probably look at getting some more gear, and seeing about coming back in a minute. So we jump over in the item bag here. We do have a couple things we could pull. I don't know that anything in here is going to make a big difference. We're going to grab that on the account there. We're going to go ahead and do this here. For the interest of this account, I'm kind of going back and forth as far as with all the extra relics and things that I get. Probably just going to turn those into tokens and try to help my best characters as opposed to stacking up chivalries and all that good jazz. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. I did actually get a chance. I should be able to awaken my Mori. Oh, I need 20 of those. So if you get to a point where you stand still, I go chase all these red dots. Like if you come over here, it'll pull up your achievements, your mail, just in case you got something going on in there. But all these different areas where you see a red dot, like in events, I have some stamina I can go in there and pick up from the pen bit event. So on the Chronicle, there's just different little resources going on across the board in here. So we go through and just kind of take a peek at what we got going on. There's kind of a little bit. I haven't really spent a lot of time in adventure mode yet, but that could be where I would move and start plowing through chapter 1 through 7 or 8 until I get stuck there. And then with all that extra all those extra resources and all those extra things on the account, I come back to chapter 10 and I'd probably blaze through what we're looking at. So these are some skill ups that that's the first time I've got those on the account, so that could be a pretty good win. I haven't unlocked the sealed temple yet, but I have gotten a few of the talismans from like chests and events and stuff like that, so potentially we might be able to unlock some skills. But let's take a peek and see. Oh, it's not even an option. So until you unlock the sealed temple, you don't even have the option of actually upgrading skills. So getting some of these passive skills would be a big win for Morgan, but we're going to have to sit tight on that one. The other thing that would help me out a lot is if I went into Tristan here and got him to 6-star, just so his attack is a little bit heavier, and that way I could get through the Giants as well. So that'll probably be my focus. He'll be my next 6-star character in order to, not awaken him, we want to advance him. So we got these guys all dialed in. We do need a few of these, so we'll go farm those up and then start working towards these mythic orbs and start getting him closer to 6-star. But before we do that, I did want to jump in the forge and take a peek at how much gear I could actually forge on the vigor side. So starting out on the account, this would be where you want to spend pretty much all of your time. Even 3-star gear is going to be some of the best gear on my account. So what I want to do, I can make 4 total pieces right now, which is pretty good. That's an entire set. So what I'm going to do is I believe it's a set of boots. So I'm going to make sure I make 4 different pieces other than boots. So I have a 3-star set of boots. So we're going to make a helmet, we're going to make a chest plate, and then we'll probably make a pendant and some earrings. So typically when you're forging gear, the primary ones, if you're just trying to complete a set, would be these 3 over here, because you can change the substats and all of your main stats are going to be fixed. If you move over to the other side, the main stat is not fixed. That's a great piece of gear right there. And so if you happen to get flat stat attack versus effect accuracy that you're looking for, like for Morgan, that would be a piece that you may not actually use on her. But at this stage in the game, to be honest, any piece you get is going to be phenomenal. That's 2 4-star pieces, so that's absolutely huge. We're going to see if we get lucky and get it would be amazing if we got effect accuracy right here. That'd be so good. 4-star, we'll take it. Defense percentage, not flat stat. So that'd be a great piece for our Cormac if we decide to build him out, because he gets added stats for defense for his attack. And then on the earrings here, I must have misdone my math. We might be able to make 5 pieces. So we're going to go ahead and make this as well. And we're going to get that on the account. Let's see what we got. Another 4-star. We're getting crazy lucky. Effect accuracy, flat stat defense. At this stage in the game, 4-star gear is going to be amazing compared to all the 2-star gear I'm using. So even flat stats are going to have a place on this. And we're going to go ahead and do a ring here. Here we're hoping for attack speed would be ideal. But hey, we got legendary. It's 3-star attack. So that's not the best piece, but it's going to be better than most of the pieces on my account. From here, it might be worthwhile to go in here into the equipment dungeon and actually farm up some of this so we can start fleshing out some of these vigor sets for our champions. So I'm pretty sure I just forgot to hit record and did a bunch of stuff. So I actually got an entire set of vigor on Nika and a couple extra pieces. My next stop is going to be Morgan, so she can spam her A2, but we also want to get her effect accuracy up. So we're going to try to get into the equipment dungeon and farm some of the forging materials that we need. But this is going to be a big win because now Nika's going to hit her heal more frequently. When it's her turn, she's going to stack 2 vigor every time. So her chances of hitting 3 vigor on her turn are going to be higher. So that way we're not skipping heals. So that's going to be a really big win. But once we get the entire team outfitted in vigor, that's probably going to be enough to get through stage 10 or chapter 10, stage 2. And then we'll work on Tristan getting to 6-star as well. But we decided to jump back over into Forbidden Dungeon. A lot of goodies in here. Once you get your team kind of blazing through. So we're on stage 10 and we're going to kind of just press on in here until we get maxed out, and then we'll head over to Weisgelag and start farming some of that material. So we got up to stage 15. It looks like we're probably not going to get through this here, and just in the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and sim all the battles before, get the resources on the account, and we're going to move on. We did get some more stamina in here too, which is pretty good. We're going to go ahead and auto clear these. We only have 1 extra ticket. It's not really a big deal, but I don't want to waste it either, where it's like if I don't get this done before 5 o'clock and then it just washes out, I get 5 tickets for the next day. So right away we got straight to stage 14, which isn't too bad. So we'll keep pressing on in there once the reset happens for day 2, but we're still on day 1 here. We're going to jump over into Nest of Weisgelag. I do want to take a peek and see at what stage I have to farm Weisgelag in order to get the materials I need for the vigor, because that really is the entire purpose of me going in there. You will get better gear in there as well, but I really want to see what stages we need to be at here. So we need to be at stage 3 or higher to get the equipment we need. So we should be able to beat that at this point. So it's been a little bit since I've tried it, so we're going to give this team a shot and just see how far we can press along. I don't know that I had any 6-stars on the account when I tried this last time. We're going to jump in here, just make sure we have all of our skill orders in place. Looks good. Oh, we have Cormac in here. That is silly. I haven't even tried this since I had Nika, so that is going to be a yeah, we're definitely going to beat this. So we got to forfeit. We got to get Nika on the team. Probably put her in the lead position just to make us a little more durable, and then with that vigor set that we just put on her, she's going to be amazing. All right, so we're back at it. We got Nika on the team. So if last time I played this, I don't think I had any 6-star players, and obviously I didn't have Nika. So it's probably going to be a pretty easy clear just because I had no heals at all. I was trying to beat Weisgelag straight through. Now I have those heals coming in. So we're going to be focusing on the boss in this fight here, and we'll just press on and see how far in. But as long as we can beat stage 3, we're going to be getting those materials to get the vigor sets going. Ideally, we could get enough vigor to at least get Morgan done and maybe Kay. And that would be a huge win. If we get all the way to Tristan and get 4 sets of vigor, that would be amazing. The count would be significantly better off. All right, so we got a little bit of farming in, got a few more pieces of vigor. We're going to do another helmet, another chest, and a necklace. So we're going to get that going in here. Ideally, it'll give me another shot at getting another piece in there, but that's what we got. So we got a 3-star. Let's take a peek at it. That's going to be effect accuracy. That's going to be on our Morgan, so that's pretty good. Would like to get a some attack speed on it if we could, but at this point, honestly, the sets are more important than the stats. Then once you get the sets, you're looking more effect accuracy, so she might actually land some of her debuffs and her turn meter manipulation. That's going to be pretty big. Oh, nice. So as we move over to these pieces, so on these 3, it requires these guys, but over here, it requires a different piece. So we're going to go ahead and make one of these guys as well as one of the earrings, and hopefully get something that makes sense. Ideally, we'd get effect accuracy here, but we'll see. We got HP flat stat, but we did get attack speed on it with 1. We got 1 attack speed. which is better than nothing. It's better than nothing. So we'll take it. We'll grab this guy here and see about getting started on our next set of vigor. And I didn't check to see the stats, but we're going to keep farming in Yscalag to keep these guys going until we at least have an entire set for all of our champions in the vigor. But let's go over here to Morgan. We're going to redo her build. All right, so we moved her over to a vigor set and a crit set, so she actually does do a little bit of damage, so might as well get her some extra crit. So you can see our crit rate's up to 30% now. We got our vigor charge at 2. We did speed her up slightly with going to 115, which is pretty sad, but it is what it is. We also got our effect accuracy up from 3% up to 8%, which isn't great, but it's something. And we can get her awakened, hopefully get a belt. I haven't gotten any of those guys yet, so getting an effect accuracy belt would be huge. Getting effect accuracy here would be huge, or putting together an accuracy set instead of crit would be huge. But none of that's really available to us right now. All right, and with that farming, we did get a lot of pieces of gear in the 3 and 4 star. So we went ahead and rebuilt Kay, got her in an attack set as well as a crit rate set. So we're going to increase her stats pretty dramatically. We're getting a lot more HP on her, a little more defense, a lot more attack. And then we're speeding her up just a little bit. But her crit rate's shooting way up to 51% from 14, which is, you know, we're starting to make some headway there. But all in all, that's going to be a big win for Kay. And so she's looking pretty good. So now we've rebuilt Nika, Morgan, and Kay. We're going to take a peek at Tristan and see about what we can do over here. All right, so we just blew through almost 2 million silver rebuilding all 4 of our characters. But you can see here on this build, at this point, honestly, the sets are going to give you way more stats than the actual pieces themselves. So having the right stats at this point is not as crucial as putting the set together if you can make it happen. You see our attacks jumping way up. We got more defense, more HP. You're going to be more survivable. We even sped him up a little bit. Crit damage has gone up. Crit rate has gone down. That's just because we had him in crit rate sets. 2 of them. Now he's down to 1, but he is an attack set. So we sacrificed some of that crit rate for some attacks. So when he hits, he's going to hit a little harder. But that's going to be a big build for him as far as making him more durable. So those adjustments just turned my PinVid 8 team into 100%. So I beat it the first time I tried it, and then I couldn't beat it like 4 or 5 times after that. But since then, it's turned that team into 100% team so far. So I can farm on stage 8 now. I might be able to beat stage 9. I haven't tried it, but that'd be kind of the next step. But I do need to get some more vigor going on. I'd like to get Kay in a vigor set so we can get that AoE ability. But even having Morgan in vigor, it just keeps the vigor moving forward. So between Nika and Morgan, 2 of my folks are keeping vigor going, so I can hit my bigger abilities significantly more often. I still don't land a lot of the debuffs from Morgan, but the turn meter manipulation's kind of starting to trickle in there a little bit. But as soon as we get that effect accuracy up, I think she's going to be significantly more functional. But I think that's about what I got for you today. I think we're wrapping up day 1 on the free-to-play beginning experience account. I was able to play for 6 or 7 hours straight. I do have stamina that I could use sitting in my item bag, as well as on the weekly tasks. I have 250 stamina over there, so I could actually keep playing if I wanted to. That being said, I have stuff I got to get to, so we're going to go ahead and back off the account for now and wait until reset at 5 o'clock. So after day 1, we've got 3 folks on 6 star. We're really close to getting Tristan to 6 star as well, and that's a pretty solid day. We made it all the way to chapter 10 on the I might have leveled up so we might have some more stamina to go through, but we made it all the way to chapter 10 on the story mode, as well as we're on PinVid 8. I think we're on Gorgos 5, maybe 6. Have to check on that. And then Yscalag, I think we're farming stage 5. So all in all, made some pretty big progress on the account. Got into Forbidden Dungeon opened up. Got the favor dungeons opened up. So we're making some headway. So it's pretty good for the first day. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me all the way to the end. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. It means the world to me. I plan on doing this series for 7 days. So to see how far we can take this account in 7 days. So hopefully you enjoy that. As you probably are aware, I am on vacation right now, so this was recorded about a week and a half ago, but we're going to keep the series coming, so you should see the day 2 coming up momentarily, and I appreciate you guys. I look forward to seeing you next time.